Hi, my name's Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. Today we are going to do a fun fall themed card with the new Eden's Garden set. But before I do that, let me just tell you a couple of things. First, I have a monthly subscription card club that I'm starting. So October will be my first month ever that it mails out. Normally to get that month, you will need to have subscribed by the 10th. But because this was the first month I ever did it, I gave you a few extra dates. But the 20th is the last day. So if you're on my email list, you will get an email on the 20th to remind you about it, and I'll do one more card so you can go look these up right now and look at this. It's the cheapest class that I offer online. So with the class you get a full package of ribbon, a full package of embellishments, and sometimes this month you do get a full package of designer series paper. Some months that paper will be half, and then you get to stamp 6 projects along with me online. So all of those details are up, but I didn't want you to miss this month if you were intending to sign up for that. And then opening today is my Eden's Garden class. So I'm going to use that today. Here are 2 that I have done with Eden's Garden already. So this one I used the dies and the paper. On this one again I used the dies and the paper. And then I mixed a different stamp with it. This is the sentiment that comes in there. So today I'm going to use just the stamps, and then there will be one more where I kind of use it all together. And that will give you kind of some peeks into the class. There's 3 ways that you can take the class. You can get the whole suite, you can get just the paper, or you can just get the videos. And the 2 that are mailed both come with the supplies to make the 4 projects with me. So here's the stamp set. As you can see, it's distinctive. Sometimes when you see a suite, like you just see it in green, because if you've looked at the designer series paper, it's an evergreen and succulent. So you're like, well, this all needs to be green. That's why I like to separate them. Like I took this one and I added the blushing bride. So it doesn't have to be the color that the paper says it could be. It makes for very easy stamping when you have them all. But I'm going to show you a way to use Eden's Garden and not at all make it a green card. So my inspiration comes from this card. You may have seen this. This is the Christmas season, which I know it doesn't look very Christmassy. This is actually not the one on the video, because it was a couple of months ago. They were my thank you card. So those of you who purchased from me online that month all got this card for your thank you. But then I went to a demonstrator event in Michigan and we did a shoebox swap. This was my shoebox swap. So it's been a really good card for me. But if you don't have the Christmas season set and you want to make a similar card, then you can get the Eden's Garden. It's available on November 2nd. And you could make some fun cards with that. So this may actually be my November thank you card. For this month I have, when you purchase from me, some months you get the ones I mass produce, and then I let it go a couple months, and then I have enough stored up from all of my samples. So somebody may get this actual card because, you know, if you see my videos, I always end up with 2 of everything, and I'm just overwhelmed with cards. So the first, trying to decide if let's do the die cutting first. So I'm going to take the dies. And for this one, first I'm just going to use, this is one of our basic tags, and I just have a piece of vanilla. And then I have a piece of the shimmery gold vellum. This is in the holiday catalog. So I'm going to put this little frame here. I haven't used the little frame on a project yet, and I have used these on every project, the little leaves. And look, they go right in the middle of that, so you don't have to waste any paper. So roll these through. That was kind of speed bump. I tell you guys all the time not to do that. I have a lot going on today. I'm trying to get this filmed so I can get out of the house, because I go meet with some other demonstrators today. So I wanted to get something filmed before I left, and I've been trying not to work on the weekends. Because, you know, if you are self-employed and you don't make yourself take time off, then you find lots of times you don't. So I had a lovely, enjoyable, beautiful fall weekend. But I didn't have a video ready for today. So let's start with this tag, and then we'll go back to those other dies. So I'm going to use one of the sayings in this. It wouldn't be on my thank you cards. Well, maybe. Sometimes I just send them so you can use them. I'm going to use Rich Razzleberry. And this says, my heart is tied to yours. Tug if you need anything. I think that's a beautiful saying. So I'm going to use the Rich Razzleberry and just stamp this on here. So now we have the tag. Now let's start, because I want to be able to stamp on this as well. So let's take our card. I'm not going to fold it in half the same way I did the other card. And let's start with our largest stamp, and you know they're distinctive, so you want to make sure that your stamp pads are inked well, but not freshly inked, because if you freshly ink them and then you go to use a distinctive, it's too much ink. So I will tell you one of the colors I chose on my original card. I'm not using on this one. I used Crushed Curry, and I'm going to switch to Bumblebee because my Crushed Curry needs to be re-inked. And it's because I've used, you know, the colors of fall right now are the ones I'm using a lot. So you can see I'm going to try to go up and just kind of move it. And look how beautiful. When you have a distinctive stamp, that's just one color of cinnamon cider, but you get all of the variations of color because of the way they design the stamps. So now you want to go to your next biggest stamp, and in this one they are all pretty much the same size, so it doesn't really matter. So I'll just go by color. So I'm going to go pumpkin pie. No, I didn't clean my stamps, so this is the one I stamped, pumpkin pie. And then you're just going to add them. So the ones that are going to be on the front of my card, I am just going to do full strength, and then as we go up the card, I'm going to let them kind of get lighter and lighter, and then we're going to go over to this tag, and I'm going to huff on it, which is blowing some hot air, and then that adds a really faint background to our tag, so it will match, but it's not going to overwhelm the words. And then let's go to the razzleberry again. I'm not going to stamp this one on the tag, because if you do the razzleberry, even though it's light on top of razzleberry, it might cover up your words. Look how beautiful that is. Such pretty stamps in this set. And I wanted you to see that they don't have to be green, so you can use them all year round. In fact, we have a wedding this weekend, and I'm thinking this could make a really pretty wedding card, this stamp set. And you would think I would know the colors because my daughter's in the wedding. But I think I will take the colors of her wedding and kind of do this. And this same card could easily be a wedding card. Now let's go to Just Jade. I wanted to use the evergreen because that's the ribbon that I wanted to use originally, because if you're in the card club this month, that's the color of ribbon that you're getting. And I did use the jewels that you're getting in card club. But then I thought the jade kind of brightened it up a little bit. See, that jade is, it's still a nice green, but it's a little bit brighter. I'm just trying to keep all the front nice and bright colors, and then as we move up here, I'll get them a little lighter. And it's just a fun technique to decorate the back of your card. If you watched my original video, you know my friend Tanya does this a lot. That's whose house I'm going to today. So add that on there. And then we have the Bumblebee, which, like I said, mine you don't see very well on the original card because mine wasn't inked well enough. So sometimes if you think that your stamping doesn't look great, it may not be your stamping. It may actually be, sorry, I'm making sure I didn't stamp the jade on that side. It may be that your pads just need to be re-inked, because you can't even see this one on my original card because that pad, it needs to be re-inked so badly. Now here I know is where I'm going to put my tag, and it's in gold, so I'm going to add a couple of those there. That's the part that you really don't get to see at all on my original card. And I'm going to do one little huff on that and add that. So see, it's nice and light when you've stamped all of your ink mostly off, and you can keep going. Especially, where's my look at the razzleberry. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, it just keeps going, gets lighter and lighter. So you can do a whole sheet in just one color and just stamp some of them on scrap. Now this is a super quick card because I needed to do a quick card so I could be able to get out of the house. Now we're going to fold it in half. If you fold it in half before you stamp, then sometimes the ink doesn't go down into the crease very well and it doesn't look very pretty. So if you're going to do this technique, just fold your card second. But now look how pretty that is. And I'm going to take my dies. So we have the frame that we did, and then we have the leaves. So super easy. One of these leaves does pop out, which it's a little bit hard to see. Sometimes when you get new dies, it's better to run them through on cardstock first and not on something fancy, because even on designer series paper, sometimes it's hard to tell what's supposed to pop out and what's supposed to stay in. And then here's this one. Look how I just ran those through once and almost everything fell out. Just that one little piece there and one little piece there, but that's gonna get covered up. So now I'm gonna take a glue dot. I'm gonna hold these down because there's not a lot on them. But there are some fatter spots, like if you get right where the berries kind of touch each other. So we'll grab that one there. Oops, I didn't grab it. Push. I think I'll go up here a little bit more. Nope, that's too tall. That's the other nice thing about glue dots is we can move them. So let's, now for this one, I've kind of rolled it. So it's a little bit smaller. I'll add that there. And then you see you can take this and you can kind of move it because we're gonna stick our tag in the middle of it. So I like it to have a little bit of lift to it. Thought I put that on there upside down, but it's just the light. It's a beautiful fall day here. My windows are open because it's a beautiful fall day, but it's a little bit cold to have open windows. So now we have that. So you can see it's kind of bumpy at the moment, but that's okay because when we put our tag on, we can flatten it down. So this is our gold shimmer ribbon. Yep, just gold shimmer. Sometimes they have fun names and other times it's just literally what it is. This is gold shimmer ribbon and it's beautiful. It may actually be on back order, but a lot of our stuff that's on back order is due in soon. You know, the shipping issues are affecting everybody, the supply chains. Weird world we live in. So I'm not gonna tie a bow, I'm just gonna tie a knot. And then I don't want it to be giant because I don't want it to cover up all of our pretty die cutting and all of our pretty stamping. I just want that little bit of highlight there. And then for this, I'm gonna take my Seal Plus because I can get a little bit more of that to hold down, see? And then just add this through the middle. And then we have this one piece here. So just take a glue dot, add it to the bottom leaf. That kind of makes the frame be a little bit taller. And see on this one, you're able to see my other one because the color didn't work. You can't even see that that's back there. And then for the embellishments, I thought about the holiday rhinestones because they have some pretty colors that would work on this. But because of those of you in the card club are getting the in color jewels as part of your card club, there's no, the in colors that are this in colors, there's none of them on this card. But that doesn't matter because our stuff coordinates so nicely. So I'm going to take the soft succulent jewels and I'm just going to add 3 to this. So this is a great thinking of you card. Now, if you were sending it for a sympathy card, because though it's saying does work, and I think the overall theme could be a sympathy card, I would probably put pearls on it and probably not a shiny ribbon. Just personal preference when I do sympathy. I don't like them to be too glitzy. So here is my other one where you can see the yellow, the crushed curry doesn't show up. Re-ink your pads. If you, so I put my crushed curry over on my desk so I would see it later so I can re-ink it. Check to make sure you have all the refills to go with your stamp pads, because if you don't and you stamp like this, you might think I'm just not a very good stamper. It's not you, it's your tools. You need to take care of your tools. So here is this one, super pretty. Here's the one that I based it off of. So it's the overall. This is another thing, like in Card Club, if you don't get the stamp set that comes with it this every month, because that's the stamp set's an add-on, an optional add-on, you can do the same card. This is the same card, just a totally different set. And then I just kind of switched up. This set didn't have any dies that would do a little frame, but it's the overall theme of the card that I did is the same. And then let's look at these two. So remember, you can go over and sign up for my class because this one just used the frames and the papers. So here's the cotton paper that comes in, and this one has the cotton paper and the designer series paper and cotton paper here. So if you have any questions, make sure you're on my email list. That's always the best way to find out what's going on. Stampin' Up! Is having a flash sale on the 20th. We don't know what's on sale yet, but as soon as I know, I'll let everybody on my email list know. Everybody have a great day and thanks for watching. Bye.